Welcome back, everyone, to the XHL. We are here at the trade deadline. Atlanta making a trade with the Albuquerque Dukes, and they're getting rid of some custom players. So the Dukes are acquiring Jack Jones, defenseman, an enforcing defenseman, 76 overall, plus Ryan LeBrake, who is really kind of a good player there for Atlanta, but really in season number 2 is kind of taking a step back. But he's going to head out to the Dukes now. Albuquerque really trying to make a push for the postseason. Atlanta feels like they need to acquire some defense, and they're going to go after Vladimir Dragovich and Matt Maggio, who's got 8 goals on the season, not doing too bad. So that trade does go through. Plus, Albuquerque does acquire Atlanta's first-round draft pick, since they are giving up quite a big haul, with the big piece, of course, being Dragovich. So they will acquire some offensive pieces now that they have a hole at defenseman. They're going to go out and acquire Jordan Subban, plus getting Andrew Chernichin, a sniping right winger, but they do have to give up a winger and a defenseman there in the trade back to South Carolina. They're going to give up Will Cooley and Danil Sobolev. So that's a good trade for Albuquerque. I like it. Plus, Elijah Bond has been in the news saying that he's very frustrated with the status of the Toledo Walleye. He's not too happy. So Albuquerque obliges. They're like, yeah, we'll bring you over. We'll bring you over as our goalie number 2. But they do give up their first-round draft pick 2 drafts from now for Elijah Bond, and they sent over Calvin Pickard, as you guys saw. Now, something to note here: since the trade, Albuquerque is killing it. They have lost 2 games in 10 matchups. So an entire month they've lost 2 games. First there and the third, they lost against Toledo and Houston, but ever since then they've been on a huge winning streak. Now, we're not really kind of at this point in the season. We're pretty much towards the end of it, and really the playoffs have pretty much been decided. It's very top-heavy. The XHL, a lot of the custom teams are a lot better than these other teams like Idaho and Toledo. But you can see, again, just the effect of the trade and what it has done for Albuquerque. They have lost 4 games in 2 months. So these trades have pushed them into playoff contention just like that. We can take a look at the final standings here, at least the standings going into the final month of the season, I should say. So Albuquerque is clinched, Tucson and Seattle have clinched, South Dakota, Kansas City and Houston have clinched as well, Baltimore, Brooklyn, and Richmond. And as we go to the south, we see Atlanta and Tampa Bay. So they are the only division with 2 teams that have clinched and not 3. Which leads us to the whole point of the video here today. It's the playoff push, and we're mainly going to focus out here in the south because we have a lot of things happening here with Charleston. They've got to win some games here. Orlando is actually in the middle of a huge slump. They have lost a lot of games in a row, and we'll see if they can choke for Charleston, because Charleston, as the champs, you know that they snuck in last year to make the postseason, ended up winning the whole dang thing, but they're going to need that kind of the same magic happening this season. Didn't happen here against Tampa Bay. That's a game that they have to win. They did beat Atlanta, which is a good way to kind of recoup that loss to Tampa Bay, but you guys can see it there. The Rampage, they are down by 4 points to Orlando. Now you can see it, there's 3 teams fighting for 2 spots. So Greenville has 60 points as well, same as Charleston. So they're really chasing Orlando at this point. Orlando could get kicked out if they keep losing. And right now, down 3-1, here going into the third period. With 4:55, we're going to jump right into the action and see what is going to happen. And Olsen brings Orlando back within striking distance. They're now down by 1 goal. If they can win this game, I think that they clinch that number 3 spot in the division. If they lose, it just opens the door continuously for Greenville and Charleston. So we'll see what happens here, guys. But with 38 seconds left to go, we got an empty net here. Here comes Poirier, the custom prospects, takes an early shot. Oh, you had a little bit more room there to get a cleaner look there, but he misses the empty net. And Greenville just trying to get this thing back down out of the end of their ice to try to get that empty net goal to really put this thing out of reach. But 18 seconds, again, opens the door for Orlando to make a push here with the extra attacker. They've got guys moving in. Nice pass, and oh, what a save by Fitzpatrick. with 7 seconds. Here comes Poirier. They're going to give him a little bit too much room, and there you go. That's the easy look that you wanted. Poirier gets the goal, and Greenville will get this W and keeps their playoff hopes alive, man. And it also keeps Charleston's playoff hopes alive. Because, again, both those two teams had 60 points at this point. They're chasing Orlando. So they need Orlando to keep losing, and these two teams need to keep winning. If that happens, then both of these teams can secure the number 3 spot and the number 4 spot in that division. So a lot at stake here in this episode, guys. So 3 goals given up by Sagan, and we got Charleston with 2 goals, Poirier with a goal and 2 assists, I should say. So we had a pretty nice game, all things considered. Fitzpatrick, 25 of 27. All right, let's keep up with the simulation here. Let's take a look at what Orlando's schedule looks like, and yeah, there you go. So you can see how many losses that they've compiled here within the last month. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, but this is a big game for Charleston. Again, with Orlando's loss, we need to see if they can cut into that lead as far as the standings go. So right now, nothing game here, and we've got Davenport giving up the goal to Pellick, and it's an early 1-0 lead here, Charleston. We've seen this so many times in this series, how Charleston loves to get up right close and personal with the goaltender. They love to crash the net. They're not a very good passing team, so they really do like to crash the net, get a lot of bodies up there, a lot of commotion. That's how they get their goals. But Kyle Jackson's able to tie this thing up, so it is 1-1, and here come the Sun Mutts on a power play. Gotten some really good looks, really good chances, but good stop there by Keegan Finch. Now here comes Rhino Power moving in on the defense. Stop and start. Stutter. Puck does come loose, and we do have probably a slashing call, I would assume, but here comes Sylvester moving in. He's going to get the goal. That's looked like it got deflected there, but Davenport gives up another one, and it is 2-1 Charleston. Now Tampa Bay, we know that they've got a good offense, and look at this movement. Ethan Letterman Jr. with the goal. Keegan Finch had no chance. 24th goal there on the season for Letterman Jr. 2-2 game. Look at Charleston. Look at Charleston. They heard me. They heard me. They're like, Goldie, we can pass, and we are a very good passing team. What are you talking about? Awesome looking goal there. Rhino Power, 14th goal on the season. It was a power play variety. I don't know. I would have expected a little bit more on the season from Rhino Power, but look at this slap shot by Pinkard. Woo! Perry Pinkard, 18th goal on the year, and it's tied back up again. Tampa Bay, they don't really have anything to gain at this point. They are in first place in the East. There's nothing for them to gain other than playing spoiler to Charleston. But in a 4-3 game, look at this shot by Johnny Smith. How did he find a hole in there? I don't know. But that's precision. That is precision. It is tied now 4-4. Here come the Sun Mutts moving in, and that's going to be a goal there for Petrov. Firing it right above Keegan Finch's glove. That rhymed. Love my rhymes. 10th goal in the year for Petrov, and that's it. That's it. Now, Charleston with this loss, they're not dead yet. They're not totally out of it. They're not out of the picture yet. A win would have done them a lot of favors, but they're still going to need a lot of help to get into the postseason. This did not help them. There's not a lot of games left, guys, and the champs could be on their way out. But is that really a weird thing to say? I don't know, because the team was not that good in the regular season last year either. But once they got in, once they punched their ticket, they got hot. So are we just kind of seeing a fluke from last playoff ago, or is this... do they get another chance if they get in? Are they going to make some noise? They do pick up a win at some point here. They do have 31 wins now, and they got 2 more points. Swamp Rabbits at 64 and Orlando at 64. So you guys can see just kind of we're going down to the wire right now. It is sudden death, basically, at this point in this season. So Keegan Finch, this Charleston team, they got to be up for the task here against Orlando. This is a huge matchup for both squads. Of course, if Orlando loses, Charleston's now got 64 on them, so it's big time. If Orlando can win, they have effectively punched their ticket into the postseason. So we'll see how it all plays out, but we do have an early goal here to Ty Fellharber with the goal, and it is now 1-0. Here is a goal there by Nault. So tie this thing up. Charleston, they're not dead yet. They're not going down. They're the champs for a reason, guys. You can't count them out just yet. But now we got De Flamingo moving in, and he's going to get a goal. Oof, beautiful, beautiful goal there by Domingo De Flamingo. He's got the the flair, and he's got the game as well, man. 43 goals for DeFlamingo. It looks like he's not stopping quite yet. He's going to get this pass off, and that's a shot. Rebound. Off in the corner. DeFlamingo behind the net, but look at the trailer. That's Barnaby. Wow. This offense is something to behold. Take a look at that. Barnaby, 6th goal on the season. Nice assist from DeFlamingo. He really made that play happen. It was a beautiful goal right there. But here we've got a deflection. Go back to the blue line. Nice pass. Nope. Nothing happening. It's a 3-2 loss. Charleston, they had one last push right there, and they couldn't get it done. So Charleston, they're not dead yet. You know, even though this is a loss and it hurts, they're still not dead yet. They could win in their final matchup and still get in, but Orlando is in. They have clinched it. So now it's up to Greenville and Charleston to kind of duke this thing out. They don't play each other, but depending on what one does and what the other does, like, we could see one team be celebrating and one team have some heartbreak. It's going to be a long season. Got to hit the links, get to the golf course for the team that loses there. So we'll see what happens. So the Solar Bears are in. They're the 3rd team. You got the 4th and the 5th team, Swamp Rabbits and Rampage, duking it out. Now, in the Central, we also have an interesting battle between the Wings and the Heartlanders. So we're actually going to go take a look at the Heartlanders matchup here. They get Dakota. They have a loss here a couple days ago, and they get them 2 more games in a row now. And then for the Wings, they have a really easy-looking schedule there. They get Toledo twice, then they get Indiana, or the Indy Fuel if you want to get specific there. But we sim this out. Kalamazoo gets a win. Riker Cooper, the goaltender for Kalamazoo, gets a shutout. Yep, 21 saves, 21 shots. So shutout here for Riker Cooper, and the Wings will get a win, which means Iowa has to get a W. They have to. There's a nice fan sign right there. Jack is dreamy. Jack Billings, the 11th goal there for Iowa. And that'll do it, though. So just really quick snapshots, guys. I did let this game play out and see what was going to happen, but Timmy Gula wasn't bad. I'll show you the stats here real quick because I want you guys to know that he played his heart out. You guys can see a couple of the goals that he gave up. Just a lot of rebound control type things. He'll get better. He's a rookie. He's having himself a really, really great season. Iowa, really the only reason why they're in contention here is because of the goaltender. Faced 30 shots in this game. 4 went in, but it looked like he was under constant duress. Just constant pressure in this hockey game tonight. And you can see the box score there for Dakota. Really good offensive production. And then the Beach only gave up 1 goal to Billings, and that'll do it. So Iowa, again, they're not dead yet. They're not dead yet. They've got a chance. But now Kalamazoo is tied in points with the Heartlanders. So they really need this win over Toledo, which it seems like they're going to get. Iowa, they're just trying to survive against Dakota. Really tough team in Dakota. And right now in the 3rd period, Timmy Gula is standing tall. Take a look here. We're going to start that 3rd period. Still only 1 goal given up for Dakota. Look at this shot. Look at this. The defense just letting him waltz right in there. Like, guys, you got to play a little bit harder on the defensive side of the game here. Look at this. Oof. Slap shot, saves. Gula's just going nuts. Look at that. The glove-handed save to the right side. He's just playing out of his mind. Slap shot there, one-timer. Save again. Gula with 9 minutes and 33 seconds. Then off the face-off, this little one squeaks in. That's Morawski with the goal. We've seen him score a couple times in gameplay. He's a good goal getter. 2nd goal tonight here for him. Power play variety. And now as we jump forward, Iowa just can't do anything offensively tonight, and that's going to be a shutout, and Iowa has basically been eliminated, which means the Kalamazoo Wings are in the postseason. So I just wanted to show you guys that because it does give us a little bit of a break in the action from following Charleston this whole entire way. But we haven't seen Timmy Gula in gameplay either, and I felt like that was a good thing to do. But Morawski there with 2 goals tonight, Ibragimov with 1, Frolik with 1. Those all came, of course, past the 9-minute mark in the 3rd period. But, you know, what's there to say about Gula, man? 42 shots against him. Babich was light work today with 19 shots against him. 19 saves. Look at this. 42. 38 of 42. I mean, the guy just ran out of gas. What can you do? What can you do? So the Heartlanders are out. The Wings have punched their ticket in. We got 4 playoff teams from the Central Division. And now it's up to Charleston. They pretty much control their own destiny, guys. They got to win here against South Carolina. They're not making the postseason, but at least they can play spoiler, right? Rhino Power there starting the game off with a goal for Charleston, up 1-0. About 2 minutes left to go in the first period. 15th goal for him on the season, power play variety. Power play here for the Stingrays. Nice little saucer pass, and tic-tac-toe we go. Holmstrom with the goal. And they tie this baby up 1-1. Are the Stingrays really going to do it? Are they going to get it done? They're going to play spoiler here today? Look at this shot. Rusty Perry. Don't be fooled by his gray hair. He's just graying early. But, man, he looks like he's going to stick around for a while with that kind of shot. 2-1 game. Keegan Finch standing tall. Third period. Still 2-1. Here come the Stingrays. Trying to make something happen offensively. Moving in. Look at the passing. Just got to circle it back. Big hit. Charleston playing some good defense. 1:55. And, oh, looked like could have been a possible trip. But Stingrays will bring it back out here. A minute, just under a minute left. A big hit again. Charleston got to play that good defense that they're known for. At least that's what really helped them in the playoffs last year. 48 seconds left. Stingrays moving in. They're going to bring on the extra attacker. Keegan Finch, you got to get it done here. Look at, here comes Sorensen, the custom, with the shot. Rebound! Oh! Finch with back-to-back-to-back saves. Defensively, we do get some blocks there for Charleston. You just got to get this puck out. You don't even have to bring it up. Just get it out. 25 seconds to go, and Brandon Peary with the empty net goal. And that is going to punch the ticket for Charleston to get the last playoff seed in the South. Wow, they do it again. They do it again. Now the question being, guys, now that they're in the postseason, are you picking them to get on a run again? That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be nuts? And all of that, the first 17 minutes of the video, all of that just for Charleston to make it again, right? I thought it was an interesting video, though. Like, come on, I had to keep you guys on your seats. I could have just jumped all the way here to the last game of the year, and then, like, what's the point? We want to follow the race, the chase for the playoffs. So, guys, the regular season is complete, and there are your playoff matchups here. We got the Dukes against the Armadillos, Nighthawks against the Grizzlies, matchup that the Nighthawks lost against last year. We got a rivalry game between Kansas City and Dakota, and Houston against the Wings. Now, on the East Coast side, familiar matchups, namely, I really like that Tampa Bay versus Orlando game. So we got a Florida matchup there. We got a rematch between Newfoundland and Brooklyn, so that'll be kind of a fun one, and Charleston, Atlanta. So that'll be kind of fun as well. And then on the other matchup there, we had Baltimore, Richmond, which also played against each other last year as well. So some rematches here in the postseason, but there are your final standings up on the screen. Really unfortunate there for Hartford. I was really hoping that they would make it in their first season as an XHL team, but it is what it is. They've still got a pretty young roster. Sport Bilico actually had a really good season. I'll show you guys the stats at the end of the year here, but yeah, I was really hoping for Hartford to get in, so they might be the only XHL custom team to not make it. And I believe that that is true. So we'll take a look at the Western Conference, and it is. Okay, so they were the only team not to make it from the XHL custom guys. But Toledo and Idaho will be your two teams playing in the relegation game. So normally I like to do East versus West, but they were noticeably the worst two teams in the league. So Toledo and Idaho, they will be the two teams playing to possibly stay or get relocated. So no matter what, the West Coast is getting a new team. And as we saw, the East Coast last year got Hartford. So kind of cool that that's the way it worked out, since now we have the Hartford Whalers on the East, and now we're going to get a West new team. Someone's relocating. Don't know who yet, but we'll find out. So as far as season-ending statistics go for the players, that's going to happen in just a moment. But as far as kind of like a playoff preview to show you exactly what these teams are capable of, here's what it looks like as far as goals for. Charleston and Kalamazoo, they have the worst offenses of the playoff teams. Seattle, Houston, Tampa Bay, KC, that kind of goes without reiteration there that they've got the best offenses. And Seattle, namely, is almost a goal ahead of the second place team, which is nuts. Pretty crazy to consider. Now, goals against, who has the worst goaltending? It would be Utah and Newfoundland. Yeah. Which really, with Newfoundland, they have 217, which they're probably middle of the pack. So that's not really a knock on Neil Till, the goaltender out there, but he's kind of standing on his head at that point. Now, Kansas City has the best goaltending, which we're going to find out, and you're going to notice here when we talk about the goaltenders. Alex Lyon had 11 shutouts in the season. Plus, Brodeur had himself a really nice season as well. So just scrolling real quick at statistics, and just to kind of give you guys a nice little snapshot view of how everybody did. Sport Bilico, rookie, #1 overall draft pick, had 81 points this season. So he had himself a really, really nice year. Some guys from season 1 to season 2, they saw some regression, I felt like. You know, you had guys like Pavlin. I saw that for Kansas City. Didn't have necessarily a really good year. Nugmanov was crazy good. Joe Casimir kind of took a little step back. He won the MVP last year. I think you got to give it to Nugmanov. I'm open to voting with the community on that, but I think you got to give it to Nugmanov. The number of goals, the number of assists, the total points, just really a lot of crazy production there. But as far as goaltenders go, I think Holtby, it's going to either be Holtby or it's going to be Lyon that gets the call for the best goaltender of the XHL this season. Just look at the number of wins, look at the shutouts, look at the save percentage and goals against average. I think you got to give it to Alex Lyon. I think he won it. If you want to go strictly based on wins, you could argue that Holtby had the better season, right? And you know, his numbers weren't that bad either. But Lyon had under a 2 goals against average. I think you got to give it to him. But anyway, that's kind of what the goaltenders look like here as well. As you see, 28-5 there for Lyon, and Holtby went 42-10. So Lyon didn't play as many games as Holtby did. So do you give it to Lyon? He had 184. Holtby had a 235 goals against average. So I'm anxious to hear what you guys think as far as who's going to win the MVP, who's going to win Rookie of the Year, who's going to win Best Goalie of the Year. So post in the comment section below. I'm anxious to read those, and we'll make an official declaration of who is the winner of each of those categories. But if it were my pick, I'd say Nugmanov MVP, Nicholas Dykstra was the Rookie of the Year, and best goaltender would probably be Alex Lyon. It's tough. It's tough. That one is very, very tough. You could go with Holtby just based on the wins, and the production wasn't bad either. I mean, I'm anxious. I'm anxious to hear what you guys think. But going forward, this is going to be your statistical scroll for each and every team across the XHL, just to kind of show you guys how everybody did. And I'm not going to go into too much analysis here because that's another 8 minutes of discussion there. But you know, Elijah Bond, 17 wins, 21 losses, so he really kind of brought it back. And you guys see his goals against average now at 2.11. He had a 3.1 when he was traded. Plus, he had 2 wins with Toledo. So it just shows you exactly, like, getting a guy on a better team, you're going to put up some better numbers, right? It's just kind of how it works. But this is going to be a statistical scroll for every team. I'm not going to cover every single one, like I mentioned, but you know, we do have a lot of custom players in here, and I'm sure you guys want to know exactly how your players did. A lot of guys to talk about, a lot of guys to cover, a lot of guys to give attention to, and quite frankly, that would be a whole entire separate video. So guys, that's it for the vid. This is mostly for you, and this is mostly for my XHL ambassadors, my mod team that's going to update the Season 2 statistics inside our roster Excel sheet. So guys, that's it. Leave a like if you like this thing. I'll see you guys in the playoffs. Pick your winners in the comment section. I'm anxious to hear. And then, of course, let me know who you think the award winners should be across the league. So that's it. Leave a like if you like this thing, guys. I will see you next Friday, the 10th, for the postseason quarterfinals. Then we'll also get the semifinals done on Sunday, the 12th. And then we'll get the conference championship games done on that Friday, the 17th. So that's kind of what we're looking like. Guys, I'll see you in the next one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and peace.